Senator Deakin, Ontario.
Thank you. Senators, we have much on the go. Today, as we begin to see the lights, the trees, the magic of holiday season, we celebrate National Child Day, and we push hard over a next very busy 4 weeks. But I would first like to take one more opportunity to remember. On November 4th, here in the Chamber, a week of remembrance began with a wonderful ceremony. The Speaker hosts and honors so many veterans in a special ceremony, and it is an honor that we are able and are invited to attend. And how special it is that every senator has the privilege of sending a wreath to their community of choice. Like all of you, I give this careful thought each and every year. Every year we learn more from the stories of Canadians, some stories over 100 years old, some very recent. Last week, Mr. Peter Mansbridge, a name that may be very familiar to you, on his podcast, The Bridge, slowed his usual work down and highlighted different stories throughout the week. Perhaps the most profound was November 10th's episode entitled Your Turn on Remembering, which turns the focus of the stories written and submitted by Canadians. This year, I learned about 20 RCAF pilots from Saskatchewan. I'm sure that my Saskatchewan Senator colleagues know this tragic story well from 1946, following World War II. The community of Estephan, Saskatchewan, imagine the war is over, you are home. Canada has leased planes from the United States, and now it is time to return them. Each plane was returned. The last plane, a C-47 cargo plane, was returned to North Dakota. 20 pilots and 1 ground crew member were on their flight back home and crashed near Estephan Airport. They survived the war, trained pilots, and were tragically killed shortly after the war. There's a beautiful memorial to remind us all of these brave men who died during their work. This year, Remembrance Day found me in the United States. I wanted to learn a little more about their veteran communities, so I visited with some young men and women who have returned home from tours in the last 5 years or so. I learned about a not-for-profit program called Home Base. It provides at no cost programs to veterans and their families to treat PTSD, traumatic brain injury, anxiety, depression, while addressing wellness and social isolation. It reminded me of the volunteer services we have here in Canada and the hard work they do in assisting those who return home, such as the Veterans Transition Network, Wounded Warriors, and the Royal Canadian Legion. We thank them all for all they do for our returning soldiers. Thank you. Merci. Miigwech.